Good evening, everyone. My name is Cassie Lancaster, and I am the Executive Director of Mission Scholars, and I'm so grateful that you are joining us tonight.
Good evening, everyone. This is Llinares with Partners in Education. We are very excited about this wonderful event that we have put together. And para aquellos de ustedes que quieren escuchar el evento en español, pueden oprimir el botón de abajo de sus pantallas que dice Interpretation y pueden seleccionar el idioma español para escuchar el evento interpretado.
Great. So I want to thank the Santa Barbara Education Foundation for We Are Mission Scholars is a program of the Santa Barbara Education Foundation, and I want to thank them for supporting us. And I also want to thank the teachers and school counselors and administrators for spreading the word about tonight's event so quickly. We all share the same goal here, which is to help our community get through this difficult time and to support our students along the way. And so I'm really grateful that everybody took the time to organize this, help us get this out there. And I'm grateful that the attendees are here tonight. So just quickly, Mission Scholars is a program of the Santa Barbara Education Foundation that helps students with the college application and financial aid process. We work with students who are striving to often be the first in their families to attend a four-year college. And we also help them build the skills to succeed as college students while they're there. So we are just super, super excited about, I think we have a few Mission Scholar students here with us tonight, so we're happy to be representing you guys. And I also wanted to again thank Ia and I both want to thank the panelists, and Ia, you're going to go ahead and introduce them. But before we get started with that, please, as an attendee, please feel free to chime in with any questions that you have in the Q&A box at any time, and we will try to answer them throughout the night's event. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Cassie. It's been really an honor to work with you and Mission Scholars in putting together this event. At the beginning of the school year, we thought what we can do for the community and bring together several resources, college and career focused, so parents and students could just hear from us in one united voice instead of just for individually trying to reach out and connecting the dots. So thank you also so much to all the panelists that are here tonight. Without you, this event would have not been possible. So we really appreciate each and every one of you. I'm Llinares, as I said. I'm with Partners in Education and providing support to students all K through 12. Through our 3 different programs, Computer for Families, County-wide Volunteer Program, and the Internship Program, which I would share more details at the end of the event tonight. So I won't take more time of this introduction, and I would really like you guys to be introducing yourselves and your organizations and all the good that you're doing for our community. I'm really, really excited to hear every insight that you have that I'm sure it will be very valuable for all our audience. We'll get started with Greg.
Hey, good evening, everybody. My name is Greg Deernfield. I'm representing A Different Point of View, which is an organization that uses aviation and aerospace careers as a springboard for people, youth, really, underserved youth, that is, that need a little bit more excitement in their career choices. Historically, the skilled positions in aerospace and aviation have not been available to a lot of the underserved, and we try to expand that audience and that availability of the career programs to them. Looking forward to talking to a lot of you and answering your questions.
Thank you so much, Greg. We have next Orian. Is that right?
Perfectly pronounced. It's Orian. Thank you so much. I'm Orian. The agency that I'm representing tonight is called AHA, and we've been a nonprofit in the Santa Barbara area for 20 years. And our focus is on social emotional education. And so our groups are really about bonding and making community while also learning some interesting things, developing leadership skills. And we also offer paid programs as well as community service. And I'll tell you more about that later.
Thank you so much. And we have next Rocelia.
Sorry, I was on mute. Hi, everyone. My name is Rocelia, and I am an outreach coordinator for the Council Project. So Council focuses on post-secondary educational opportunities for low-income, first-generation, college-bound, and underrepresented junior high and high school students in Santa Barbara, South County. And I'm just very, very excited to share the common goal of helping our community and to get like the word out for them to know about our services.
Thank you. Then we have Samantha.
Hi, everyone. My name is Samantha Alvarez. I am representing the REACH Fellowship. We are a small local nonprofit in Santa Barbara. We serve the whole county, so North County and South County as well. We help students with the transition from high school into college. So we're cohort-based. Students join us their junior year, and they stay with us through their first year of college. And we help through workshops, college applications, application fees. So that's kind of the academic component that we help out with. And then we also have, we try to teach life skills to students. So we have like an outdoor adventure component. We go backpacking and rock climbing, college tours, things like that. So I'm really excited to share more about our program later and answer any questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Samantha. So then we have Koji.
Hi, my name is Koji Tanaka. I'm the program director for the Santa Barbara School of Squash. We are a nonprofit after-school program that serves underprivileged students here in this mostly Santa Barbara, Goleta. And so we use the sport of squash as a hook to get the kids interested in the program. And so we use physical activity to keep them in shape, but the bigger underlying mission that we have is the educational component, as well as cultural, social enrichment, and support of their families as well, and then and hopefully get into college. So yeah, we do provide all-around support for the students and their families.
Thank you very much. And Ellie, you go next.
Thank you. So my name is Hanali Tapia-Palacios, or Hanali, however you'd like to pronounce that. I am one of the program advisors for the Scholarship Foundation of Santa Barbara. So we are a local nonprofit that provides students with financial aid resources. So not only do we provide scholarships, but we also provide them with any resources that they would need in order to be successful in their higher educational goals. We service students throughout Santa Barbara County, so from Santa Maria all the way to Carpinteria and everywhere in between. We're here to just support them in any way we can. Obviously, we work with high school students all the way to graduate students, but we also have the opportunity to work with our younger students as well during the summer. So we try our best to get the word of financial aid out and really try to cover the financial aid literacy and support our community as best as we can. And we'll get into that a little later. Thank you.
Thank you, Hanali. Lina, you go next.
Hi, thank you for having me this evening. So my name is Dr. Lina Kim, and I'm the Director of Pre-College Programs at UC Santa Barbara. I oversee programs for high school students, and most notably the Summer Research Academies and the Research Mentorship Program, all of which focus on academic and professional, social, and personal development. And I see a couple of names in the attendee list that I'm familiar with, so hi. And we work with really talented students just like you, so I look forward to getting to know you a little bit better this evening and answering any questions that you may have. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Lina. And Keturah.
Hi, my name is Keturah Carter. I'm with Goodwill Workforce Services. I know that most everybody has heard about the Goodwill stores. Not everybody knows, though, that Goodwill also has workforce offices in Santa Maria, Lompoc, and Santa Barbara. And we offer employment services through different programs that we are able to provide in the community. A couple of our programs do provide paid work experience. I'll get into that a little bit later. But we are here doing more than just opening our stores. We do have employment services for people in the community, and we've partnered with quite a few businesses in the area. And I'm looking forward to answering any questions you have later.
Thank you so much to all of you for those amazing introductions. I can't wait to hear more. So Cassie, you take the lead and we start the panel.
Okay, great. Thank you again for everyone for coming tonight. I want to just quickly reiterate that if you, in the audience, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to type in them in the Q&A, and we can try to address them if possible during this time. And we're also going to be recording this session in case you have to leave. And we know that it's been a long day for a lot of you on Zoom for sure. So if you need to step out, we will record it and we'll send you the recording in full later on. So I'd like to start with a couple questions about college and the college admissions process and affordability process in particular. And, you know, this year, as we all know, has been really challenging, particularly challenging for our seniors as they have begun navigating college and financial aid, the application process during a pandemic. And so my first question is for Samantha and Rocelia in particular. And I want to know what you would advise our high school seniors and their families regarding the general timeline of the application process. Where should they be right now, and what should they look forward to in the coming months? So Samantha, go ahead if you can take that.
Yeah, so college applications are opening up in November. So students, right now, I know for our students, we definitely have been working on drafts for the UC Insight questions. Even if some students aren't applying to UCs, it's good to kind of use those questions as a base, because also scholarships ask for very similar questions. So yeah, definitely if students that are seniors right now should be, looking into deadlines also for their applications, financial aid, also looking into scholarships. The FAFSA is opening up October 1st, I believe. So definitely, thinking about college, also having a list of colleges that they are thinking of applying to. That's also really important. And I know, a big part of picking what schools you want to apply to is college visits and college tours. And I can imagine that might have not happened for many students, but there's still ways to connect to campuses that you're interested in, either virtually or connecting with someone that is already going to that campus. I think something that's going to be really important related to COVID is if there has been a big difference in income compared to taxes that were filed, then students will need to start communicating with schools as well to inform them of those differences and those changes, just so that they can kind of plan ahead for financial assistance and financial aid. But yes, just getting ready for applications that are going to be opening up. Fall is a very important time for seniors, applying for many different things.
Rocelia, do you have anything to add?
Oh, yes. So I know that Samantha mentioned checking other ways to pay for college. Great resources are calgrants.org, csac.california.gov, also the Federal Student Aid Commission. They have resources available for students. I also suggest, like how Samantha mentioned, creating a list for the college that they want to apply to. So maybe making a list for 4 to 8 colleges that they can see which college they're interested in applying to. Also ask about, I think it's very important to ask about the fee waivers for test applications, or even just for them to apply to college. Another thing that I think it's important is to ask for a letter of recommendation from, for example, at least 3 adults, teachers, counselors, employers. I think that letters of rec, they come in handy for scholarships or even for the general application for UC applications. Also for October, like Samantha mentioned, that the financial aid applications opening up. So we're also going to be having Cash for College workshops in partnership with the Santa Barbara Scholarship Foundation. So we're still planning that out, but for the most part, we're thinking Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays to be hold from 4:30 to 7:30 p.m. We're still planning planning it out with the schools around the area. So we're very excited for that. Another thing that they can do is create a master list of calendar with applications, fees, deadlines, test dates for October. Also, another thing they can do is just begin the online applications and financial aid forms. For November, I suggest finishing up the applications and apply to CSUs and UC campuses. Yes.
Thank you. And what about for the younger members of our audience, the freshmen and sophomores and juniors? What would you advise them to be focusing on right now, as we're both preparing for college and also dealing with the impact of the pandemic with that process?
Oh yes. So right now we're actually for CalSoap, we're actually working on holding some workshops for our students that are in junior high as well as in high school. So what we're trying to do is have workshops that will help them become a little bit more ready for example, transitioning to the college world, and simple workshops that we're going to be hosting with Study Smart tutors. They're going to be announced they're going to be starting in October. I will say October, if I'm correct, it'll be October 19th. So we're still planning it out and seeing which workshops we'll also be just having for them, because our main priority for now, I think, for the seniors is to apply for their financial aid applications as well as their UC and CSU applications. And for this fall semester, we're just trying to also focus on students that are in grades that are below the 12th grade so that they are prepared as well.
Thank you. And I just want to piggyback on that, that in addition to the UC and the CSU apps, there are quite a few applications for private universities that give tremendous merit aid scholarships to students who are eligible, that have early applications due as early as November 1st. And so if those are on your list, you definitely need to be working on those applications and essays right now or when you finish this this workshop tonight. Okay, so and Hanali, what about the financial aid process? What should students and families be doing? I mean, we just to piggyback on what Sam and Rocelia said about the FAFSA opening up next month. What should they be doing if they intend to apply for financial aid and to get prepared for it?
Sure, that's a great question, and I don't think it's asked often enough, right? When students hit senior year, even junior year, their main focus is what school am I going to? And that's a great question, and I think it needs to be asked a little more frequently, but I guess we have some tips and tricks to kind of start thinking about it, right? And first and foremost, I know Rocelia and Samantha kind of touched on it, really getting those dates in your calendar, on a reminder on your phone, because October is a huge month for financial aid, right? That's when applications start to open up, and applications that are important to a lot of students are FAFSA, so the free application for student aid, and the California Dream Act application, or CADA. So those are the two main ones, and they open October 1st. So we highly recommend that you put that on your calendar and you make sure to remind yourself to apply to those. And diving into that just a little bit, we have almost like 4 bullet points that we want students to remember. So first, when applying to FAFSA, you're going to be asked for an FSA ID. So that's a free or federal student aid ID. that is a separate application to FAFSA, and you can just Google that and complete a profile to create all the information that you're going to be supplying. So your first and last name, where you live, your social security number, and so on. A student creates one, and if a parent has a social security number as well, they will create one as well. This is your signature that is going to be used for FAFSA. And that is open now. So get that done, get that out of the way, so then you don't have to worry about it as you enter the world of financial aid, because we know that can be a little daunting at times. So if you're not going to be completing FAFSA, right, you're going to either be completing FAFSA or the California Dream Act, and understanding the difference between the two is huge, right? So if you don't have a social security number, you're going to be applying to the California Dream Act application. And instead of the FSA ID, you want to prepare yourself with your DACA number, not to be confused with your ITIN number, which a lot of students do confuse that with, or their parents with that number. Secondly, you know, if you're applying to scholarships that are in federal aid, student or state aid, and institutional aid, they're going to be looking at financial need. So if you're applying to any scholarships that are based off of financial need, you're going to have to supply yourself or supply the application with financial information, right? So we highly recommend gathering that information prior to that application or entering that application. And that includes your parents' tax returns or your guardian's tax returns or W-2s. If a student is also working, they need to supply that and prepare themselves with that information. Number 3, of course, what is more specific to the FAFSA application, if your parents or guardians have asset information. So if they own property, if they own a business or anything that they consider assets, they would need to supply that information on your FAFSA. And lastly, and just as important, it almost seems silly to bring up birthdays, and their marital status is huge, because although for most of us it sounds like a straight line conversation, right? It seems really easy, but for some students it's not. So making sure that you have that conversation with your parents, if you're the one, you know, completing the application, or at least have that conversation with your guardians as well, to have that conversation starting. Now that's the financial aid process, right? And understanding the difference of these two applications, so your FAFSA and your California Dream Act, but also understanding where this aid is coming from, right? Because when you complete those applications, they're not going to give you a check. You're not getting a check from FAFSA. You're not getting a check from the California Dream Act, right? It's coming from either federal, state aid, or institutional aid, or private scholarships, such as the Scholarship Foundation of Santa Barbara. So just kind of preparing yourself mentally, getting those dates down is really huge. But students that aren't maybe high school seniors or aren't already in college, the way to prepare yourself for the financial aid process is really just keeping up your extracurricular activities, maintaining a solid GPA, and getting really involved in your community. Because although, you know, FAFSA won't ask for that, or California Dream Act won't ask for that, but if you're applying to scholarships, they're looking at how well-rounded of a student you are and what you provide to that school even, right? So there's a lot of things that go into the world of financial aid, but having those things readily available to you kind of eases the process a little bit. It doesn't seem so scary when approaching these applications. Mm-hmm.
Great, thank you so much. So for Hanali, Rocelia, and/or Samantha, can you just elaborate a little bit more on what you think the impact of COVID-19 will be on the families with respect to financial aid? Like, are you seeing anything on the college side? I know, you know, I've been reading about the struggles in higher ed right now, and not really, none of us really understand what the long-term impact is going to be financially with respect to merit aid scholarships. But are you hearing anything, and how we might be able to advise families just to prepare for that, either seniors or families with younger students?
That's a great question, and I think we've had this that's the top of our brains, right? That's what everyone's thinking about. And at least what we've been supplying with or telling our students is, you know, be as clear as possible. If your 2019 information does not add up to your 2020, you might want to be consulting with, you know, a financial aid advisor, or even talking to the school that you plan on applying, and just being clear and concise in your information and being honest. As you know, that conversation can be scary, but just saying, you know, hey, there's going to be a huge difference between those tax returns. And just, you know, being honest and upfront and bringing that information forward, I think is going to be key for the situation. And schools understand that conversation is already being had, right? So it's going to be up to the student and the parents to present that information beforehand.
I will say for our students, at least in Reach, we noticed that many students decided, since they heard that the classes were going to be virtual, held through Zoom, many chose instead, since they wouldn't be having the full college experience, right, of living in the dorms and living on your own, many students did choose instead the Santa Barbara City College route or Allen Hancock College route, mainly because of the promise. So both city colleges offer either 1 or 2 years of free tuition. And I think SBCC covers books as well. So it is financially a better option. And both schools are great schools, right? Santa Barbara City College has been #1 city college in the nation for a couple of years. I'm not sure about this year, but I know in the past. So we have noticed that students are kind of choosing that route. So there are options. Right, to do the city college route and then transfer 2-3 years afterwards, later. But I would say, yeah, you know, if your family is debating, you know, doing college or not doing it, instead of choosing a gap year or instead of choosing to go work, you know, thinking about the city college route, just so that, you know, you stay in that mentality and you're still college bound and thinking about college. But yeah, I would say the same as Hanali. If your, you know, if family has had significant income change, income loss, starting to have that conversation early with anybody, right? Anyone that can help you out and then can kind of guide you in the direction. But I think bringing up that topic and that conversation sooner rather than later would be very, very helpful.
Thank you. So Lina, this question's for you. So can you talk a little bit, you have a very specific, you serve a very specific purpose for students, which I love, having worked with you. Can you talk about the importance of academic enrichment opportunities for students, such as summer research programs, and specifically how they help students prepare for both college admission as well as actually being successful as college students?
Yeah, absolutely. This is actually a really great question and we get it often. So academic enrichment opportunities are really important because this is where a lot of students will be able to gain very important skill sets that will be crucial for when they go to college, that are usually not offered in high school. So mainly, obviously technical writing is one of them, but on top of that, I think living in a university environment where you're able to network with other students of that caliber. And so there are different types of summer programs out there. One of them is an enrichment, which is in the form of camps. Camps are readily available here in Santa Barbara. So all of you are pretty lucky to be in this town. There are also internships available, which is where you gain some work experience. Both of these are sort of free form in the sense that there isn't some sort of measure where a school might know, you know, how well you kind of sort of took that experience, but nonetheless, it's a great way for you to learn some things about you personally. There are also academic programs where you're taking college courses, and a lot of local schools are doing dual enrollment, which is really great. And so then you're seeing that a lot of your peers are also taking other college courses. So then you're looking to see that a lot of the college applications are starting to move up a little bit as far as where the bar is going. But the last one, which is probably one of the most important ones that are really rare, but being in this town makes you really lucky, is research programs. And this research programs really propel your academic journey. And this is because research programs are not only very immersive, but also extremely transformational. So you're able to immerse in your research, which is something that not even a lot of undergraduate students get to do unless they go to a research institution. You get great work experience working with researchers. You get to network with like-minded peers. And also it helps you unearth a lot of great qualities that you have that you can highlight in your college application process. And so colleges like to see that you not only sort of do all the things that high school students do, for example, have extracurricular activities or be part of your community or do some sort of sports or music, but or take college courses, which again is becoming normalized. Obviously grades and test scores are great too, but when they start seeing that you're doing an academic program, they're starting to look at you at a very different light, because they see that you're not only someone that seeks outreach opportunities to grow academically and personally, but you're also really, I think, focused on growing your responsibility, your initiative, maturity, communication, and more importantly, that you are committed to sort of a larger cause like research. And so colleges like to see that and say, okay, if a student does all these things, then they can do that in 4 years at our university. So they want to invest in you. So being part of Santa Barbara, like I said, is a great thing, because we have two of the best research programs. And I'm not saying this because I'm biased, but this is really true. We have two of the best research programs for high school students. And so I'm gonna put the link to our website in the chat so you can take a look at it. But they're very different, and research programs are not for everybody, but I highly encourage you to take the opportunity this coming summer, if you're not a graduating senior, to do something that will set you apart from others, especially with how COVID is impacting all of your education. So again, I'll put that chat in, but and I'll also be happy to answer other questions later.
Thank you so much. So let's switch to career a little bit. Thank you for putting up with all the college questions. Keturah, what would you say are the most common questions and concerns you've been hearing from students and families over the past few months regarding job and paid internship searching during COVID? And what advice have you been giving them?
So one of the things that everybody asks is, do we even have work sites for our paid work experience programs? Yes, we do. Not as many as we've had before, but we do have work sites, and we do encourage the youth to kind of get out of their comfort zone and kind of explore new opportunities. All of our work experience programs, we have two large ones, but both of our larger work experience programs are geared towards youth between the ages of 16 and 24. So in school or out of school, depending on which program they are eligible for. So one of the biggest questions that they have is, do we have work sites, and what is it like at the work sites? Are there precautions being taken for COVID? And the answer is yes. We do communicate regularly with our work sites, ensuring the safety of not only our youth, but their contact with anyone that comes in and out of the work sites. We have work sites all the way from the Boys and Girls Club to, well, when it reopens, we used to be able to do Marion Hospital. That's not really an option at the moment, but those are the types of things that we're working with. We do have plenty of different administrative and mechanical work that's available. So yes, we do have work sites. We have a variety of work sites to choose from. We do encourage youth to try to choose a work site during the course of their program participation that kind of mirrors what they would like to do when they grow up, or what they want to do as a career, because we want to give them the experience in the arena that they're interested in long term. So the biggest concerns are the number of work sites available. Do we have enough? Yes, we do. We're constantly reaching out into the community to try to partner with more businesses and give the youth more opportunities to choose from. And yes, we do abide by the COVID recommendations. We are having masks do have to be worn almost, if not all of the work sites, almost at all times. Cleaning common touch points, things like that. So from what I've been hearing from mostly the parents is they're concerned about their youth's safety and well-being at the work site. And so yes, we are taking precautions to make sure that that is of the utmost priority. Especially, due to the numbers that are going on in the county, we want to make sure that we're doing our best to keep everyone safe.
Great, thank you. And I also wanted to ask about, both for you and for IA and for Partners in Education, what your programs are doing to help us prepare students for career prep interviews, for interviewing during the virtual world, in the virtual world. What are you guys doing to help assist students get ready for that?
So both of our main paid work experience programs that we have, the youth do have to participate in activities prior to going into work experience. One of the major activities that we focus on is mock interviews, and it is done on Zoom. All of the workshops for the program that I am spending the majority of my time on, and there's quite a few different workshops for that program, all of them are done on Zoom. So the youth, right at the very beginning, they come in person to do their intake, socially distanced. Everybody wears masks. We do have protocols before even entering our office. You can't just walk into the office. So we do take all those precautions. That's one of the few meetings with the youth that is in person. Most of the rest of what we do with them is on Zoom. So they're pretty used to it. And I've had a couple of youth already that have started work experience, and their worksite interviews were done on Zoom or over the phone. And so they are having mock interviews with one another. We do breakout rooms. We do it as a group. We go through a course in one of our programs called is Errol Moody's course, How to Ace Your Next Interview. And so we go through his videos, and we discuss the pros and cons of doing interviews in person versus Zoom and vice versa. So that is a topic that we actually do concentrate on quite a bit. And most of the youth that I work with, because my program, the youth need to be in school, they're pretty accustomed to Zoom at this point, considering all of their schooling is done that way as well.
Yeah, so we do something similar at Partners in Education. We have selection interviews, and everyone that applies to our program gets the chance already to have a virtual interview. And we have, for the first time, created panel interviews. So it's not just that they are gonna be trying the Zoom as a virtual environment for their interviews, but also be interviewed at the same time by couple of interviewers and along with other peers. So this is something that is going to give them a big experience for them, because we are so used to the one-on-ones in-person interview, but in the virtual world, we are going to something very different. So it's not just that we are going to be just connecting through Zoom, but also we may have that group interview setting and panel interviews. So getting the youth acquainted with that and just equipped with the tools in order to feel confident that they have everything they need in order to come and present themselves. And sometimes I feel like they feel even more comfortable, you know, just like on the other side of the screen, that's just coming in person. And definitely with their peers, with that sense of still, instead of competing with each other, right? So just like helping each other, and it's like, okay, I'm gonna answer this question first, so you get a little bit more time to think on your answer. And then of course, practicing those that are accepted into the program. We have, I would say like the majority of our modules are just focused on communication in different aspects of communication. And of course, preparing for the virtual interviews is a big piece of it. And we have interviews that they practice with their peers, but at the same time, we bring volunteers and experts from the community that will be conducting the interviews with them. So they have at least a chance to be interviewed by 3 different people and get that experience and that practice, because at the end of the day, that's the way they are gonna be better prepared for the actual interview when they get their internship interviews.
Thanks, great. Okay, so Orian and Koji and Greg, can you address the need for youth support and empowerment services in our community, specifically in times of distress, and what you guys are doing to reach out to families in need during this time?
Yeah, I definitely advocate for any student who is looking for programs that would promote social interaction. It may not be your top priority as you're getting ready for college, but if you can join a program like AHA where you're getting to socialize and be around people, that's gonna really be good for your mental health. We are social creatures, and so without that social interaction, we don't do very well. So hopefully you guys will join us for some social interaction that also would look great on a college application.
Yeah, adding to what Orian said, yeah, we definitely do our best to have social gatherings with our students, before COVID hit. our students would, see each other pretty much every day with the programming we'd have. And so they'd be able to interact in person. But since COVID hit, we've had to switch gears. And so we are, doing hybrid programming, but with the outdoor sessions, we do our best to, maintain physical distancing, and we go on bike rides, and then do outdoor workouts on Wednesdays. And so we provide that, and the physical activity part to keep them in shape as much as possible, since we're not able to play squash indoors on the courts. So we're kind of doing that to substitute. And we go further where we do support not only the students but their families as well. And we provided resources for jobs, or we know that the 805 Undocu Fund was created, and so we sent them to that in case their parents had less hours of work, or their income had drastically been reduced. And we used to just provide snacks at our programming, but once COVID hit, we realized as I mentioned, some of these parents had reduced hours and their income was reduced. So food insecurity is a big issue with the low-income population. So we stepped up and provided food distribution from supermarkets, donated food. We partnered with the Santa Barbara County Food Rescue, a program put on by the Community Environmental Council. And so we did pickups from Lazy Acres. And so in the course of the summer, I think we distributed close to 1,600 pounds of food, and on top of a generous donor who donated over 1,000 pounds of oranges from his avocado ranch. And so, yeah, we were able to, provide food for them. And then one of our generous donors, provided, I think, gift cards, $50 for Rouse to each of our families. We have about 30 families that, we're able to do that. So, we do our best to not only support the students, but their families as well. Because, if things are, taken care of at home, the students, won't thrive as well. So we do our best to, give them overall support. Yeah.
And for a different point of view, this whole situational pandemic was such a sudden turn for people in their lives, social, work, school, everything. So we rather aggressively adapted our programs to go online with Zoom. And it was within a matter of weeks that we had mentorship, leadership, and other career interview programs, which we supported a lot with pilot shadowing and things like that. But the silver lining is we were able to expand the audience and expand the careers. So we got to plug in a lot of people from different parts of the aviation industry that aren't local here. You could reach out and say, well, it's all on Zoom. So you could be on the other side of the world and be able to reach our students. As the pandemic moved on and we got to get a little bit more of an idea of what the new normal was, we aggressively wrote policies to get the students back in the aircraft. And we have those policies in place now, and we'll be implementing them. As you know, flight training, it's two people in a very small place, and there just is not an alternative to that to get people, students particularly in the real aircraft. So we've had to adapt quite aggressively, and we've got a lot of good programs that have been vetted and will be rolled out. One thing we've admired about the youth in particular is they're really resilient. They do not suffer from the same paradigms that we suffer from. So some of our best ideas come from them. They're able to think outside the box on a way that we've, as adults, we've either lost that, or our experience in life has sent us down a different path when we look for solutions. So we try to leverage that as well.
Thank you. That's a really good point. I do have a couple questions, quick questions from the audience, and the first is for Hanali, specifically for you. This individual wants to know if the honors scholarship program application is going to require the SAT or the ACT as part of the application this year.
That is a great question, and I'll just go over what honors application is. So that is one of our scholarship programs that we have available for South County students. So from students that attend Goleta to Carpinteria High School. And it's a merit-based scholarship. And one of those things that we look at are ACT and SAT scores. We still are taking them into consideration. Of course, we are also taking into consideration our current situation of the pandemic. So just to kind of maybe ease the nerves a little bit, we are looking at more than just your scores, right? That's only a very small fraction of what the honors application really covers. So we're looking at your GPA, we're looking at how you're involved in the community, like I've mentioned before. How do you stand out against other applicants? So don't be concerned so much with those scores at this time. Please still apply and please continue to submit that application. We still are taking those scores into consideration. We just haven't decided exactly how heavy they'll be weighing this year due to our current situation of the pandemic.
Thanks. And I've had some parents ask me what specifically they should be doing to help their sons and daughters, and I wanted to address this question to Orian and Koji and Greg in particular. What would you advise parents regarding how they can help their sons and daughters through this difficult time, and maybe what they should be looking for and just to get through this as a support system?
Well, I'm a little biased because I'm a therapist myself, but I always think trying out doing some therapy can help. If you start noticing your child is having anxiety or depression, those things, especially during this time, are totally normal, and seeing a therapist can really help with that. I would also advise encouraging exercise and minimizing screen time as much as possible. I know that's really difficult right now. And that is what I would promote most of all. And then also prioritizing your own self-care as a parent, so that when those crises do come up, you're well-resourced to help them and be extra patient and loving during this time.
Yeah, I pretty much second what she said, and I'm very fortunate that my sister-in-law is a clinical psychologist, and I've gotten good advice on how to help our students, but also the parents as well. And I would recommend the parents do their best to make sure basic needs, supplies, materials, and things like that are taken care of. I know that might be very difficult right now, but to do the best to do that. Set and keep a routine for yourself, for your kids, for your family. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, bedtime. Set aside time for family time, game nights, things like that. Do the best with the meals, give healthy and nutritious meals, so that, people have energy to, have their brains functioning properly. And encouraging socialization with, friends, family, do it safely, physically distanced. And also encouraging their kids to, try to become more independent by, having them do more chores or taking on some more responsibilities. And self-care for themselves as well, as Orian said. Taking care of your mental health is really important as well. So yeah.
Well, my wife's a marriage family therapist, so I guess we're like, it's therapy all around, right? There's a lot of value to that. She's helped me with a lot of the changes that have happened, just with us discussing with our children, that, hey, what do we want to do here? But thinking about the community in large, and for a lot of these families that are attending, I can't imagine there are significant changes that this pandemic and this situation has brought about. So one thing specifically that we like to do with this new footprint is we like to do what's called a techno day, which is no tech. You just shut the phones off, shut the screens off. And you'll be surprised how resilient children are when that is not available, and how a paper towel roll all of a sudden becomes the focus of an hour and a half of really enjoyable time. People are laughing like you've seen them laugh before. The other thing is the situations, when I found myself in this situation with career choices back when I was young, just out of college, and I developed an acronym called GLEAMER. And it was a simple 7 steps that you look to accomplish each day. And I can pass information, I'll say it here, but I can pass it along. It was get up before whatever time you want to get up. So make a goal. I want to get up before 1 p.m. or 8 a.m., whatever your goal is, that's your goal. Learn something new is the L. E is eat healthy. A is accomplish something towards a goal. M is meet somebody new. E is exercise, that's the second E. And R is to read. And when I say read, read something not on a screen. Pick up a magazine, pick up a newspaper, pick up a book. It doesn't matter if you read 1 paragraph. You know, you got these 7 steps. It's something you can do every day, and you can vary them. You can challenge yourself to have, you know, get a 2 for 1 with a letter, you know, learn something new and meet somebody. So if you're looking for specifics, that would be my recommendation. And our organization will provide a lot of those specific steps. If you're looking for something, we'd love to have you join.
I just want to quickly add that to recommend, you know, the parents, they validate and acknowledge their kids' feelings. You know, even though it might be something minuscule and that we might think is nothing, you know, it's might be big to them. So, you know, just to make sure we validate and acknowledge, you know, their feelings and their thoughts and all that as well. So I think it's very important.
Great. Thank you all. So let's spend the last few minutes talking about going into a little more detail about our programs. One of the questions in the Q&A that was asked was whether what services are there out there to help undocumented students. And so while you're talking about your program, if you could just mention that if your organization helps undocumented students and families, that would be great to include as well. So let me just share my screen. Hopefully this will work. And then we'll start, I think, with a different point of view. Whoops.
All right. Yes, a different point of view. You know, our big tenet, our baseline here is engage, inspire, and transform. So engaging with the students. So documented, undocumented, whatever, we engage with all. There is no limit on that. The resources that are available to join into aviation, particularly for the underserved, are great. There's a lot of organizations, Women in Aviation, OBAP, Organization of Black Airline Pilots, the Latino Pilot Association, National Gay Pilot Association. All of these organizations are designed to specifically get their target audience into aviation, particularly into the skilled leadership positions. So we will take all levels. It doesn't matter. That's the audiences we're looking for. I hope I answered that question.
You did. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, so just to tell you a little bit about what programs we're offering at AHA right now, we have on Monday a girls group and a guys group, a little gender binary, I know, but anybody's welcome to join any group, however they choose to identify. These are groups that end up being a little bit more intimate, like small circle style, where people really get to build relationships. It feels like hanging out with friends. Then we have a Tuesday and Thursday group called Ally, where that's going to get really into some topics of social justice and self-improvement, life skills, creativity, and giving back to the community. So this is definitely the program for if you're trying to be woke as possible, which is totally relevant right now. Wednesday, we have a creative music group, and that's for people who have a more creative side. And again, we're going to be learning those social emotional skills and leadership skills within the realm of creativity and music, art. And then the last thing I'll mention is that we have a program called The Littlest Little Farm, where this is actually in person. So we're taking all the COVID necessary precautions and allowing students to come for 2 Saturdays, 1 per month, to learn about sustainable farming. And it's an incredible experience actually to be on the farm and learning those skills. I did it myself and learned so much about plants that I didn't know. And again, it was just a really engaging, cool experience that looks awesome on a college resume. So let me know if you have any more questions about those. Thanks.
Hello, I'm going to be talking about CalSoap. So we are a program of the California Student Aid Commission, Cal Grants. We're a part of a community action agency. We employ college students from UCSB, Santa Barbara City College, and Westmont College each year to serve as CalSoap tutors. Our peer advisors offer one-on-one advising. Also, we assist with the financial aid application. So not just the FAFSA, but also the DREAM Act application. We're going to be holding also workshops this fall and also for the spring semester. So be on the lookout for that. Once we have more, like our flyers, we'll be able to distribute them with the dates, and you all can like sign up for them. We also offer, like I mentioned, tutoring service. I would, for DACA students, I'm gonna be sharing the immigrants rising, and I'll share also that on the chat that there's a lot of resources if you're undocumented. I'm actually undocumented myself, so I feel like I am also trying to spread the word for undocumented folks, like that there is a way to get through college, and that they're able to do so. So there's tons of resources. The universities, they're great. They have also like dream centers. So I'm gonna put up the immigrant rising on the chat. So yeah, so these are some of the services. And if you have any further questions, you can visit us at calsoap.org.
Hi everyone, my name is Katie Kinsella. I work at Mission Scholars alongside Cassie, one of our facilitators this evening. So we started Mission Scholars because we know there's many students in our community who are missing the transition to college, specifically four-year colleges, due to a lack of resources or lack of quality guidance. So we here at Mission Scholars hope to change that. So we work with students that want to go directly to a four-year after graduation, students that demonstrate financial need, and who are really motivated and take challenging classes. And we offer a lot of exciting services and programs to these students. We walk them through the entire college application process. We do workshops, including how to write college essays, and we provide revisions. We also work with scholarships, scholarship help, and financial aid guidance. And we just started a financial literacy course as well. And we don't stop once students get into college too. That's a big part of our program, is we want to support our high school graduates throughout all 4 years of college. So to do that, we have a college coaching program. We also have a program where various first-generation college graduates give advice and insight to our current cohort of college students. So lots of great things going on at Mission Scholars. This past year, 100% of our students in the class of 2020 enrolled in four-year colleges. So they're in colleges right now. 83% of their combined four-year cost of attendance was covered by scholarships. And we even have one Gates scholar. She was a student at DP, and now she's at USC studying engineering. And because of the scholarship, all 4 years are completely covered by the Gates scholarship. So if you are a junior in high school and you're interested in our organization, you can go to our website, missionscholars.org, and click apply. The application is open, and our priority deadline is October 15th. And if you are listening and you're a freshman or sophomore and you're interested in Mission Scholars, you can also apply to our pre-scholars program also on the website. So we hope to hear from you. And we also work with undocumented students as well.
Hi everyone, Partners in Education. It's now open for applications for our paid student internship program. The deadline will be next Monday, September 21st. And our program, it's divided into 2 phases. The first one, we provide with 7 weeks of virtual job readiness training to all of our participants. Of course, due to COVID now, we are gonna be hosting all the workshops online. So this program will allow the students to work on their modules and assignments at their own pace throughout the weeks. And then we will meet once a week in small group settings led by one of our career coaches, where we will be able to go in more depth into all the material shared previously during the modules. And we will be covering anything from resume and cover letter building to communication in the workplace, how to prepare for an interview, virtual and in person, financial literacy, and everything that will equip our youth in order to join the workforce. And then for those students who successfully complete the job readiness training, they are eligible for either $150 stipend or receive community hours for the training that they receive. And they also are eligible for paid internships when they become available. And now we are offering internships that are remote, and also others are in person and hybrid mode as well. So we will be able to provide that opportunity also to the applicants that we have for the paid student internship program. And again, the deadline is coming up real soon, next Monday, September 21st. So feel free to check our website, partners.sbco.org/application in order to submit it.
Hello, everyone again. So yeah, we are Reach, like I mentioned earlier. We are do similar stuff actually to Mission Scholars. When you were explaining about your program, I was like, well, we do that. But I think what kind of makes a difference is along with the helping with college applications and holding workshops, we also provide opportunities for students to learn about health and wellness. So we have like a food component to our program. We also do community service in our local cities. Also, we try to provide life skills opportunities for you all. And what better way to gain those skills than pushing your comfort zones and your comfort levels. So we do outdoor adventuring and expeditions. We do a rock climbing trip to Joshua Tree. We do backpacking throughout California. Usually also we do at the end a big trip to Ecuador, where we live with an indigenous community for about 20 days. Obviously that didn't happen this year because of COVID, but we're hoping in the near future that we pick that up again. But yeah, we really try to create community with our students and really be mentors to you all. Any issues or questions that come up, we really try to help out with those as well. Our application is currently open and our deadline is October 16th. If you are interested in applying or if you have any questions, you can check out our website. That has a really good Q&A on there. But yeah, if you are a junior and you are ready to push your comfort zone and really grow, and you're also looking for some guidance and mentorship, Reach will definitely be for you. Most of our students are first generation low income students. I actually went through the program before it was Reach. It was called something else, NYE, and I went through that. And our program manager went through it as well. So the program is pretty much alumni ran, which I think really speaks to the power of the program. It really was life-changing for me, and we hear the same from many of our students. So if you're interested, we are currently accepting applications, like I mentioned. You do have to be a junior in high school. So if you're not a junior, you'll have to wait. But check out our website. Thank you.
Hi, yeah, School of Squash. We do have openings in our program, but unfortunately, because of COVID, we aren't taking any new students this year. But in the next couple of years, we will have, I think, upwards of 8 openings. So, those of you here who have younger siblings, yeah, please let them know about our program. We, start taking in students beginning in 5th grade, and then, support them all the way through high school. And then beyond that, we do our best to support them at least until the age of 25. And so, yeah, we pride ourselves on, being a kind of like a second family. And, we do set ourselves apart by, providing, very personalized, support in terms of school, family support. And, we've been able to, get $3.5 million in private school and college grants and financial aid for our students in the course of the time that we've been a program. 100% of our students, graduate high school and enroll in post-secondary schools. We actually partnered with Mission Scholars, and we currently have 2 of our students going through the program. So yeah, I highly recommend Mission Scholars as well. They really genuinely care about their students. And so, yeah. What else? Yeah, I mentioned before, we use the sport squash as a hook, but the big underlying mission is the academic component. We do our best to steer our students towards college, and we realize, it may not be the end all be all, but we stress, education is very important. That education will, open up, much bigger opportunities. And we also, require students to, do community service. And also we provide them with enrichment opportunities, career presentations. We bring in different working professionals from the community, to expose them to all different kinds of professions that they may not, be aware that, that they can, pursue. And we, provide mentoring. A lot of our volunteer tutors are great mentors, providing guidance in, not only in school, but, just life in general. So yeah.
Great. So I am part of the Scholarship Foundation of Santa Barbara, also known as the Scholarship Foundation or SFSB. We are a nonprofit, like I mentioned before, and I did mention how we provide help with understanding financial aid and how to access that, but we also provide scholarships. So what you see here is a list of our general scholarship program eligibility requirements and how to prepare for that application. So not only are we supplying students with financial aid information, but we're also supplying students with scholarships, right? So there's 3 different programs. If you want to go more deep into that, and I won't because they're kind of a lot of information, but you could always access our information through our website at www.sbscholarship.org. But the general application is open to all students here in Santa Barbara County, including students that are undocumented. So we do not ask for social security numbers on our application. That is our newest update, which hopefully opens the door to a lot more applicants, right? And breaks down that wall of nervousness of having to provide confidential information to our applications. Hopefully this will help them along the way. We're a program that really supports the to and through mission. So not only are we helping out high school students, but we really try to advocate for our college students as well. We're trying to get you through your 4 years or 2 years of whatever career path you decide on. But also if you want to continue your education through graduate school, we're there to support you as well. We have 4 awesome program advisors. I say awesome, I'm one of them, but we have 4 different program advisors, 2 for South County and 2 for North County, that are here to help you with whatever questions you might have. All of us speak Spanish, so if that is something that you feel more comfortable with, if you feel more comfortable approaching us as a Spanish speaker and speaking in Spanish, will help you in that way. Our application does open October 15th. With a deadline of January 15th. We have 2 other programs. One is an arts competition that closes November 15th, and then our honors, as I mentioned before, closes also November 15th. So that's a quick month turnaround, but it's completely doable. And of course, please feel free to reach out to us. Our admin assistant also speaks Spanish. So if that's something, again, you feel more comfortable doing, you can always give us a call. We aren't in the office, but you always can reach us via email or voicemail as well.
Okay, so hi again. Thank you for having us. We at pre-college programs at UCSB pride ourselves in training the next generation of researchers, and we're looking for talented students like you. So we do this via 2 research programs. So one of them is the research mentorship. We take students who are currently in the 10th and 11th grade, and we do consider some 9th grade students on a case-by-case basis. And so it's really immersive, and you're earning 8 UC credits, which is quite a lot. So it'll get you pretty ahead. And then our summer research academies is for students who are currently in 9th, 10th, and 11th grade. And students in SRA choose a research track that they want to focus on, and they're doing research collaboratively with their peers under the guidance of a mentor. And so 2 very different experiences, but more importantly, like I mentioned before, you're going to be developing in your academic, professional, social, and personal skill sets. So it's pretty great. And they look really great on your college applications. We fundraise 12 months out of the year for this program. I'm a first generation college student from a low income background, so this is really important for me. And more crucially, we provide scholarships that are partial to full to any types of students. So undocumented or not, or documented, it doesn't matter. So I highly encourage you all to visit our website, send us an email if you have any questions, and additionally, sign up for upcoming webinars that we'll be advertising on our website. So thank you so much.
Hello again. So what we have at Goodwill Workforce Services, and we do work in conjunction with the WDB, is 2 different programs for youth. Our YCS program, which is our all-county program, that program offers 20 hours of activities and 170 hours of paid work experience. We also do provide supportive services in that program. We can help with things like we can also help with college applications, textbooks, signing up for school. If you need anything for your work site that you choose to go do your work experience at, we may be able to help purchase that. It's a really great program. We're going into our 2nd year of this program. So it's a really great program. And every Tuesday, you can see there, every Tuesday at 4 p.m., we do have a Zoom orientation. So if you are interested in participating in the program, please log into that Zoom orientation this next Tuesday. The Zoom ID is right there, and the case managers that go through the orientation will reach out to you and invite you to discuss your eligibility, and those eligible will be enrolled in the program as soon as we're able to do so. The other program we have available is for youth ages 16 to 21. These are in-school youth that have either a 504, an IEP, or a documented disability of some type. That's our STEPS program, Summer Training and Employment Program for Students. That program offers 40 hours of work readiness training and 200 hours of paid work experience. And we also have Zoom orientations every Wednesday at 4 p.m. for that as well. So if you are interested or know someone who may be interested in that one, you can join that orientation also. The workshops for both programs cover things like customer service, job readiness, so building a master application, writing a resume, mock interview skills. And then we go into work experience, and we do have it mimic a real work scenario. So we do send our youth on interviews. They get to actually practice going on an interview, and it's pretty aggressive and intense as far as the work readiness shops, but the kids seem to really enjoy them. We have been doing everything on Zoom, so you don't have to come into the office more than once or twice usually. Unless it's on an as-needed basis. Let's see, what else can I say about the programs? Because these are the only 2 paid work experience programs we have at the moment. We also work in conjunction with the Department of Rehabilitation. We do a student services program that offers 100 hours of paid work experience as well. But we do have a couple of programs that are up and coming that have not quite opened yet. We have a new program called our VEEP program. It's for veterans and spouses. It also offers paid work experience as well. And these programs I really enjoy. That's actually how I started with Goodwill Workforce, is I started as a veteran client. I did serve in the Army from 2000 to 2004, and I take a lot of pride in my military service. And so I started in with their Operation Good Jobs program that provided employment services, and then was given the opportunity to participate in an internship program that we used to have, our transitional jobs program. And I was working actually with the veterans program that I had initially enrolled with. And then after a period of time, began working full-time with Goodwill Workforce, doing staffing for these youth programs, helping to partner with businesses in the community to provide the work experience for the youth. And now I work on the STEPS program. That's the main program that I work on. We do try to do a lot of co-enrollment. So if you qualify for one program and we feel that you would benefit from another program, we try to help you get through more than one program, because we don't just want to provide you with the basics. We want to do everything we can to go above and beyond and provide you with as much support and services that we can. As far as the undocumented youth in the community, I would have to go in and research what the protocols are for that, because we are doing employment services. We do have to do I-9 verification, so I'm not 100% sure exactly how that works. I would have to research that and be able to provide more information on that in the future.
Okay, great. Well, thank you, everyone. That's it. So we ran over a little bit. Apologies for that, but I hope that this was useful for you to see what's available in the community. And thank you to the panelists for joining us tonight and sharing your wisdom and your resources. And it was lovely getting to know you as well. So again, thank you, everyone, and thanks, Ia, for co-hosting this with me.
Thank you so much, Cassie. You've done an amazing job, and I'm sure that all the attendees are just like going with a lot of questions in their heads and kind of homework to do, right? To explore all of our websites, all the resources that are available out there in the community. And just a quick reminder that all the information provided by all the participants tonight will be shared with you, and then we will also be sharing the recording of the event, so you can just like watch it again, listen to it again if you missed anything. And of course, you will be able to reach out to any of the panelists. You will have their contact information, and you will be able to reach any of us with any questions and follow-up that you need. So thank you so much to every one of you. It's been really awesome to be participating with you in this panel tonight. And muchas gracias también a nuestro intérprete, Raúl, por haber donado sus servicios. Estamos muy, muy, muy agradecidos por ello. Y les deseamos a todos una buena noche. Have a wonderful evening, everyone.